Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video and I'm working on my flipbook album for Shrewsbury in England, and I'm working on a slightly different type of page configuration today. On the left side I have a 6x8 over here, full page with a 4x6 photo, and then on this side I just have two 3x4s here. So I decided to use that because I didn't have other photos that I wanted to mix with these on the same page. I want them to have their own lovely focus. So that's all I have. Right now I'm thinking I will put this one up top and the pocket card will go down here, but I am willing to switch them depending on what I find. So what I really need is background paper, which could be difficult here because look how busy this is. And I'd love to find some purple. Don't know that I have anything that'll go, but I'm going to try. And then I need a background card as well, and of course, all the fun embellishments. So the first thing that I did here was to take my book apart. So the front section is over here, the other half is over there. It just makes it easier to work on these. So I have those pulled out so that I can make it flip better. And one thing to note, if you've never used a flip book, is that it does have the extra gutter here for turning purposes because of the binding that is used. So do make sure you get the kind that has two separations there, because that's what you need in order to make it fit the flip book. All right, with that said, I went into my background papers. I have a bunch that are 6x8 that came that way already, that came in kits. I think a lot of these are from Citrus Twist and Cocoa Daisy. They do 6x8s. And then I have a couple in here that were 12x12 pieces of paper that I cut down to be 6x8, but most of them came as is, which is really nice. Less work for me. And in there, I found this. Look at that purple. Isn't that gorgeous? This is the other side, which does not go at all with this, but it's equally lovely. And I don't remember who makes this. I feel like this came from a kit of some kind. I just don't remember where. But look at that. It's not perfect to that, but it's different enough that it will make this stand out. And of course, I will matte this. So I have to figure out, do I want to just go with traditional white? There is white in the stained glass, so that would work. Do I want more of a gold tone? I don't know for sure. So I have to work on that as my first task. All right, I have decided I'm just going to kind of be lame, do a little bit of a cop-out, and just use white for the matte here. I do think it brightens up the glass a little bit there. There are also white candles, and it helps draw some attention to that. And it looks good with this one over here. So very traditional, but I'm going to go with it. And this is just a piece of the Whisper White, I believe it's called, cardstock from Stampin' Up! I have cut my mat here and I chose to go very thin. Generally speaking, I don't like a really wide border around photos. I tend to go with an 1/8 inch. Even a 1/4 inch seems too big to me sometimes. So I like a very thin border, and I love how that looks against the purple. It really pops that way. And then I'm thinking if I can bring in some embellishments down here, because these steps here, they're fine, but they don't really add anything to the layout. All the color and fun is up here. So that gives me an opportunity to cover up part of this, overlap on the purple, and make it look really good. I have this adhered now, so those are together. And in looking at this, I felt like I wanted to do some gold washi because there is gold up here. So I've pulled out a bunch of options and they are in various widths here. So I have a couple of these thinner ones and I love the pattern in there. But the trick here will be to match this pattern with this pattern with these patterns. There's a lot happening. But I do like the color and the sheen of that one. This one is a little more matte when you look at these. Hopefully the camera shows the difference there. A lot more shiny on this one. This one's also much wider, so I'm not sure how that would go, but I'm willing to consider it. And then I have these two thin ones as well, both very shiny. Definitely more gold happening here. Ooh, I really like the look of that one. Let's put that up there. And I have this one, which brings in a little bit more of the white if you look at the background there. So maybe. And then I have this one, which is another subtle stripe, but much thinner than this stripe. Kind of like that too, but again, it's thicker. And then this one, I gotta be honest, I just love the pattern. I will use it on whatever I can, and that it's shiny. You know, bling doesn't hurt. But that pattern, I mean, that's really making a statement. And it's a lot more white in it, so I'm not sure how I feel about that. So I'm just going to kind of play around with all of them and see what I like the best. All right, well, I actually did not end up going with this one like I thought maybe I would. I went with this one. A little bit bolder pattern, more white though, and I like it. It is pattern on pattern on pattern, but I like that there's more white space in it, that you can see this white behind it. I might actually double up. Now that I look at it, I might do a second row of it kind of off center or something. I don't think I want another one at top. It would make it too symmetrical, but I like the idea of maybe having another one just overlapping before I add anything else to it. I did do a second row there, and I really like that. It just adds some really nice visual interest. So I'm going to stick with that. Now I have to figure out what I want kind of up here, or maybe overlapping this and off to the side a little bit. I'm really not sure what I'm going to do. It depends on what I find and how big it is. Well, in my stash of Shrewsbury stuff that I had put all in the bin, I forgot this was in there. And I really kind of wish that it didn't have that heart on there, because look at that. I would much prefer that. And I thought about trying to cut it, but I'm so afraid I'll break it that I think I better just leave it alone. But I think I'm going to try to use it because the wood tone works nicely here against that gold. And there is some brown in there as well. So I think that would be okay. And by the way, it is freckled fawn, in case you're interested. I've had this a while. It doesn't say on it like when it was made, so I have no idea, but I've had it a while. All right, look at that. It's not glued down yet, but I think that's where I want it. It looks so good like that. And actually it works, I think, to have this heart over here just against the paper. It just draws the eye. So I'm not as irritated by that as I first was. I think I can use it and be okay with it. I still may include something else here or not. I'm not sure. It feels kind of blank everywhere else. So I certainly could do some splattering if I wanted to add in some gold. Otherwise, I'm just going to go with this because I'm not sure what else I would add. Okay, I've decided I am going to splatter on there. So I have this glued down now, and all I'm going to do is just take a scrap piece of paper that I have here and cover up that photo to make sure that I don't get any splattering on it. All right, I'm ready to go here, and I am using this option. I've had this forever, and I had a Heidi Swap Gold, but it got all gunky, and the cap was so hard to get off. I finally just chucked it because they discontinued it anyway. Rumor has it might be coming back, but for now, I'm using this one, and then it's called Sunflower, and it's from Tattered Angels. I don't even think they make this anymore either, but look how much I have left. I'm going to use it till it's gone. All right, here we go. Tap some around there. I'm getting a lot on my piece of paper that's covering the photo, not as much on the paper. All right, how does that look? Do I need more? You know what? I think I'm going to let that dry and see what I think of it. I'm a fan of less is more when it comes to this, so I don't want to overdo it. So I will just let that dry and see how it looks. All right, so as this has dried, hopefully the camera's picking it up, you can see I actually got a lot more on here than I thought. I couldn't see it very well when I was doing it. This is actually a little more than I would have liked. I could have done with less. So I'm certainly not going to add any more, but I think what I have on there will do fine. And then I just have to figure out, do I want something else on the top, maybe like right up here to balance out this lower right, or do I want to leave it alone? I'm just not sure. Since I can't make up my mind about the left side, I'm going to move on to the right side. And in looking at this, now that I have it all set up, I'm going through some purple cards that I have. And just in doing this, I'm not sure that I want the card across from this. I think it might be better to have the photo down there. And any embellishing or journaling I do would be better up top to balance out the wood veneer. So, see, I ended up switching what I thought I was going to do. Now, the only purple in this side is right here, and it's very muted. It didn't count as bright as in this photo. So I'm not not sure how much that much purple goes with this. If I do use a purple card, I probably will need to balance it out with some gold, maybe some blue, because there's a lot of blue here, which would then allow me to maybe use some blue here as well. So I think I need to find out which card I think is appropriate. And if I don't like any of these, I can go into my travel stash and see if I have any purple in there. But I kind of need to pick that card in order to bring everything else together. All right, so when I went through all of my purple cards, just regular and travel related, there wasn't a lot to choose from. Purple is just not a color I have a lot of in my cards, so that's out. Then I thought, well, what if I went gold? Because I already have that, so I could make the card gold and then embellish with the other colors. So I have 3 choices here. I like this one just because of the circle, but it's very modern looking, and I'm not sure that goes with this. And then I have this one, which is just a nice ombre gold diagonal stripe, which I think looks good there. And then I have this one, which has this real funky flourish kind of pattern here. And I don't love it, but I don't hate it. Let's just say that. And it kind of goes with some of the stuff that's in here. So I'm tempted to use that one. And I don't even know that I need to journal here. So I could just put a little something like up top in purple or blue and maybe call it good. Not sure I need to do much else. So I think though it'll be one of these 2, but I'm leaning towards this one. All right, I've picked out these 2 sayings from my phrase labels. So this was incredible and favorite spot. And in looking at that, I like it, but I felt like I needed more red because I've got red right here and here. And by the way, notice, I didn't notice this till after I put it down. Look at this design here. It kind of matches the top of the crown. I think it was meant to be. But all I'm going to do is, because I have that heart there, I'm going to actually add in one of these little red puffy hearts I have to bring in the color, I think. And then probably a red dot over here. And then I have at least a little red on each page. I added in those puffy stickers, and I think that's all it needs. Everything's in the pockets, so here are some close-ups. Hopefully the camera picks up the nice splattering sparkle. It's a little bit harder under the page protector, but it's definitely there. Love how the bottom of this turned out. And then there's the card that I pieced together, very simple, but I'm okay with that. Less is more here. There's a lot going on. And I didn't need to do anything with that photo. So here is another layout done for Shrewsbury. Thanks for watching.